$84 trillion is set to change hands over the next 20 years. Whether you're passing it down or inheriting it, the decisions you make today will shape your family's financial future for generations. Welcome to the Great Wealth Transfer, where David Pulcini, CFP, guides you through the strategies, insights, and pitfalls of navigating one of the largest financial shifts in history. What you don't know could redefine your legacy.
$84 trillion. That is the amount of wealth projected to transfer from one generation to the next in the next 2 decades, really, in the next 20 years. So, folks, this is the largest transfer of money literally in human history, and it is going to reshape families, businesses, and economies in general. Okay, and I'm going to get into what those numbers actually mean, but whether you are passing down the wealth or you are going to be receiving it, what you do right now to plan for that, and that is going to determine your financial future and the future of the generations to come, okay? If you care, by the way. Some folks don't care what their kids or grandkids get. If you care, this podcast series is going to be for you. But I would say if this caught your attention or resonated with you or is something that you need to plan for, then you're in the right place. I'm Dave Pulcini, a financial advisor, CFP, certified financial planner, and the CEO of SixPoint Financial Partners, and my firm specializes in helping individuals, families, and business owners navigate the complexities of wealth management, estate planning, which is what we're talking about a lot here, financial growth, especially in this unprecedented time and era of, we'll call it generational change, right? So I've got more than 20 years of experience doing this. I have seen firsthand the opportunities and the challenges that wealth transfer can bring. Okay, I've seen it all. I'm going to go through a lot of stories with you guys, but my goal with this podcast is to break it down into simple concepts that are actionable for you today. Again, because I've seen the other side of it. And if it is not planned for, it can be a mess, right? I want to introduce you guys to stories and strategies from the industry leaders. I will have guests on, and I'll give you guys tools to make informed decisions about your wealth and legacy. Okay, so today we're going to kick things off with the one big question. Just an intro episode. It's going to be a quick one. What exactly is the Great Wealth Transfer? Most of us have not heard of that, but that is what we're calling it, and that's also the title of the podcast. So, and why does it matter so much, and how can you position yourself to thrive during this period of this monumental change, right? So, the Great Wealth Transfer refers to the massive shift of assets, okay, estimated, and you've heard this number twice already, at $84 trillion that will pass from baby boomers to Generation X, Millennials, and even Gen Z over the next 20 years, okay? This includes everything. A lot of folks think this is just investments, but this does include investments, retirement accounts, but also includes real estate and businesses and investments, and how about just your stuff, right? People have a lot of stuff they've accumulated, and where is that going to go, and how are folks going to have to pay for that if they do, okay? I think for a lot of people, it's hard to comprehend how large of a number that this actually is. So I wanted to give you guys some stats so this could help. So again, to understand how massive 84 trillion, just the number is, I'm going to break it down into terms that you can possibly visualize, okay? So if you had 84 trillion in single dollar bills and you spent $1 every second, it would take you 2.7 million years to spend it all. That's crazy. If you stacked 84 trillion in $1 bills, the pile would reach approximately 5.7 million miles. This is crazy. Enough to go to the moon and back 12 times. Okay? I'll give you one more here. Over the next 20 years, the 84 trillion means that roughly 11 million will be changing hands every second. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for the next 20 years. That is an insane amount of money, guys. And it's not just a lot of money. Like I said, it's a monumental shift of resources, and it's one that will impact families in the economy in ways that we don't even understand yet, okay? So, and I know that you probably don't have $84 trillion. No one does. But if you have an IRA or an investment of any kind, if you have a house, a bank account, this will affect you, okay? If you have dealt with a family member that has passed away, or a friend's family, or somebody that you've helped, or you've heard the stories of someone passing away, and typically, unfortunately, it's a nightmare afterward because folks don't have their stuff in order. And you know what I'm talking about. So here's why this matters to you. Baby boomers right now control the lion's share of wealth in the U.S. As they, or you, if you're a baby boomer, as you age, that wealth will inevitably transition, okay? I work with a lot of folks that they're never going to spend all their money. And they know it. They want to pass money on to their kids, but most times when I meet with somebody, they are not in the right spot to leave it behind in the most efficient way. So if you want to give money to your kids or grandkids or a charity, we need to make sure we plan for that now. And I've already said that, but and again, if you don't plan for it, it's not always smooth. There are estate taxes. There's improper planning. And sometimes, guys, I'm telling you, when you leave money behind for your family, it actually hurts them more than it helps. And you might not believe that. It's always nice. You think that it's always nice to get $300,000 or something handed on, but it can be a burden if you don't plan for it properly. And I'll get into why that is in another episode. But one last thing here on this part of it is, what about family dynamics, right? We're going to talk about that one grandkid you don't want to leave the money to. We're going to talk about how kids fight over the wealth that's passed on, or they spend it all right away, or it could all disappear altogether, or we paid way too much in taxes that we didn't expect, or a lot of situations that we're going to get into, okay? So, and for many families, it's not just about the money. And I would say that these folks are doing it right. It's about ensuring that their hard-earned legacy lives on and continues to grow. Okay, for others, it's about building financial security for that next generation. But so again, whether you're a baby boomer planning your estate, or a millennial or Gen Xer preparing to inherit, this transfer represents a massive opportunity. I hate to even say opportunity because it sounds like you're just waiting with your hand out for money to be passed on. But it also presents a massive risk if we don't do it properly. Okay, so, and I know a lot of you, if you're listening to this, you're not waiting for a handout, but we want to do this intentionally, and we want to do it in the best way possible. So that is why I'm starting this podcast, right? Because the stakes are incredibly high. The decisions that we make today will shape not only your future, but the future of your family and potentially even your community, okay? Yet, again, most people are not prepared. Another fun fact here that's not so fun is 70% of wealth is lost by the second generation. It's crazy. And then by the third, 90%. It's a lot of the times we see that with family businesses, right? Or just family dollars. By the third generation, it's gone. So we're going to talk about ways to hopefully make sure that doesn't happen. So, and happen to you. So I'll cover the strategies you need to safeguard to and grow your wealth. We're going to avoid those costly mistakes and navigate this generational shift with some confidence and anticipation rather than apprehension, right? Most people are worried, or they're just not taking care of it. Let's set it up so that you know what you're doing and you can look forward to passing this on the right way, and you just know it's taken care of. I will tell you guys, the folks that we have done this for and the folks that have this taken care of, it's like a weight off their shoulders. It's liberating to know that this is done, okay? So more specifically, we're going to talk about tax-efficient transfers, investment strategies for the beneficiaries, how to navigate the emotional side of an inheritance, okay? A lot of times when someone passes away, they're already dealing with the emotional side. Let's not burden them with the financial side as well, okay? I've done that too many times. And again, I'm going to bring guests on that are experts in everything from legal planning to family dynamics to share their insights with you, okay? At SixPoint Financial Partners, I'm going to wrap it up here. Our mission is simple. We do take a personalized approach to financial planning. Everybody is different. I know everybody's heard that before. It is kind of cliche in our world of financial planning, but it really is a process from start to finish that is personalized for you, the listener, okay? And we're going to give away a lot. We're going to give away all the value. A lot of folks are going to listen to this and they'll be able to handle this themselves. If we give away enough and we do it right, you can definitely do this yourself. However, typically what I find is that people hear this stuff and they say, can someone just help me out with it? Okay. And we have advisors that will be able to help with that. So we're going to dive into those, reducing the estate taxes, protecting the inheritance, ensure your wealth is transferred successfully. And we're going to give you guys stories and all of that stuff. But listen, here's the first step. I just want you to think about this for a second. Take one moment right now to think about your own wealth transfer. If you're a parent or a grandparent, have you started planning? If you are in line to inherit wealth, again, this is not waiting with a handout, but do you know how you're going to manage that effectively? And I could give you 20 examples of why inheriting $800,000 from an IRA right now might not actually be beneficial to you. Okay? I love this question. If something happened to you right now, what would they find? And where would they find it? Okay, we're going to make sure that this podcast goes through all of that. So if this resonates with you, make sure you guys subscribe to this podcast so we don't miss an episode. If you want to learn more about how my team at SixPoint Financial Partners works and can help you, just visit us at sixpointfp.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning into the first episode. I know it was a quick one. The next one's going to bring some major value, but for now, make it a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Great Wealth Transfer Podcast. If this podcast resonates with you, reach out to SixPoint Financial Partners at 585-485-6048 or email dpulcini at sixpointfp.com.
Content here is for illustrative purposes and general information only. It is not legal, tax, or individualized financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific security or engage in any specific trading strategy. All investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Results will vary. Past performance is no indication of future results or success. Market conditions change continuously. Information here is provided in part by third-party sources. These sources are generally deemed to be reliable. However, neither SixPoint Financial Partners, Private Client Services, nor RFG Advisory guarantee the accuracy of third-party sources. The views expressed here are those of SixPoint Financial Partners. They do not necessarily represent those of Private Client Services, RFG Advisory, their employees, or their clients. This commentary should not be regarded as a description of advisory services provided by SixPoint Financial Partners or RFG Advisory, or performance returns of any client. The views reflected in the commentary are subject to change at any time without notice. Securities offered by registered representatives through Private Client Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives of RFG Advisory LLC, RFG Advisory, or RFG, a registered investment advisor. Private Client Services, SixPoint Financial Partners, and RFG Advisory are unaffiliated entities. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RFG Advisory and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advisory services may be rendered by RFG Advisory unless a client agreement is in place.